Yeah, this is a good point. So most of your videos you think were in around that 10
7.
to 15 seconds or
7.
7
I made them even
seconds?
shorter. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, this is just a fun app. I'll get on here, I'll dance to a song, I'll lip sync to a song and get off. But TikTok has slowly migrated into a more YouTube-esque type feel. And people are going there for bite-sized bits of information. You're either entertaining people, you're educating people, or you're combining the two. So if it's a bunch of text on the screen, they'll usually watch it 2 or 3 times. Even though you can pause on TikTok, most people don't pause. They'll just keep watching it over and over until they read the text. Yeah, but then it just kept going. And then I hit CJ up again. I had 100,000 views and I was like, okay, I'm literally viral. And CJ was like, you need to make another post. And that's where I got the idea to respond to a comment with a video. And I'm so glad I had batched content, and I'm glad we already talked about that, because if I had batched any content and then I went viral, I wouldn't have anything else to post.
What's good? What's good, family? Welcome to the Rev Fitness Conference, viral on TikTok, turning 1 million views into dollars. And I'm here with a very, very special guest. And guess who it is? It's Keely Brown. What's good, Keely?
What's up, CJ?
Yo, listen, it's a Rev Fitness Conference. You already know people are excited about TikTok. People want to know about going viral on TikTok. People are like, should I be on TikTok? How do I even go about starting on TikTok? All these different things. And recently, you just went viral. And listen, we're here to talk about how you go viral, but also how you turn that into dollars. So we're super excited about this. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you, CJ?
Oh, I'm amazing. You know, I'm here in Cancun. You know, we
Yeah.
doing what we do. We need you here next time.
Give me a heads up. That's all.
Okay,
Give me a heads
we'll
up.
do that. We'll do that. So let's get right into it. Tell people who you are. First of all, tell people about who Keely Brown is.
Okay, so on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, I'm Workouts by Keely, and I help moms lose weight after having a baby. And I also have a clothing line that is there, and I started that during the pandemic. It's been awesome. The support has been amazing, but that's who I am in a nutshell. I help moms lose weight, and that's part of the reason I went viral on TikTok, but we're going to get to that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Listen, if you guys are not already following Keely, make sure you go do so right now. Follow her on YouTube, follow her on Instagram, follow her on TikTok. Listen, you won't be disappointed. So, Keely, first of all, let's tell them the story about how you went viral. So, you've been on TikTok for how long?
2019, so almost 2 years.
Okay, for 2 years. How was your experience on TikTok for the last 2 years up until about 3-4 weeks ago?
I was not consistent at all. I would post and then disappear. I wasn't really posting about anything. I did not dance, but I would do like silly challenges or stuff like that. But I wasn't really consistent. I wasn't showing any workout videos. I was just being kind of silly and sporadic with it.
Mm-hmm. So before you went viral, you were kind of inconsistent with the posting and everything like that. But as far as TikTok, you would see other people have success and things like that. When you just kind of like look at some of the trends they were doing or certain things, and you're like, you know what, try to see where you kind of fit in, and you kind of like studying the landscape.
Most definitely. So in May, I consciously made a decision to start batching my content. And what I would do is research. I would get on and scroll through and see what's already trending. And if I saw the same track on a video multiple times, I was like, okay, that's probably trending. And then, like you said, I would take it and try and make it unique to my niche. And I finally decided to talk about my niche and stop being silly and just putting up random stuff.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to, you said you never danced or anything like that. What kind of stuff do you post on TikTok?
In the very beginning, I was just lip syncing the songs. I did a cooking video. I would just do random stuff and duet with people. I like duetting with people.
Mm-hmm. Going back just a second, you mentioned batching content. For those who don't know what that is, what is batching content?
So batching content just means creating more than one post at a time. So I would pick like a Saturday when I knew my son would be out the house, set up the ring light, set up the cameras, and kind of write out what I was going to do, at least 3 or 4 skits or videos that I wanted to make, film them all in one day, edit them another day, and then pace myself in posting them.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Listen, I love to do that as well. Not only with TikTok, with all my content for all social media channels. Listen, your business has to run consistently, even if you're you're not into it or something happens. A side hustle mentor, my buddy says, do you have a hit by the bus plan? And if you get hit by the bus, is your content going to keep running? Is your marketing going to keep going? Is your business going to keep rolling? So that's just a little, little extra.
Bus. I like that. I like that because that goes along with having your systems in place.
Exactly. Talking about systems, but we're going to get into systems in a second because you're all over it. When it comes to going viral, though, when you went viral, tell them about the story about how this went that whole day. Because I'm going to tell you guys, listen, when it first happened, Keely was like, something's going on with my Instagram. And we're like searching through Instagram thinking it's something with her Instagram reel that went viral, but actually it turned out to be TikTok. But tell them about it.
Exactly. So May 10th. So like I said, in May, I decided I was going to batch my content. I'm going to just be consistent on TikTok and start posting consistently. So by May 10th, I was posting once a night, and I usually post right before I got in bed, and I wouldn't look at it because I was getting maybe 100 views on the stuff I was posting. Nobody was paying attention to me. So I posted it, and something, I know why I look back. So that night, I got in bed, I checked Instagram one more time, and I had like 15 followers. That's abnormal for me. So I hit up CJ. I was like, hey, I think my reel is, going crazy. All right. So I went to bed happy. I was like, okay, I got some followers, I wake up and the little notification said over 100 followers. And I was like, okay, something is wrong.
Something's up.
Wrong. So this is May 11th. So I hit up CJ again because he's like the only person that I'm like, he's the only person that would probably understand what's happening. So I hit you up. I'm like, hey, something's wrong. Because my reels, it maybe got 1,000 views. And I was like, that's pretty normal. But why do I have so many followers? Went back to TikTok, opened up TikTok. TikTok had went crazy. And at this point, I think I had 6,000 the first time I looked, and then I went back and had 10,000 followers, and I was like, okay, this is going crazy. I think I had, 40,000 views? It was something nuts.
It was something crazy like that, and we're like, Yeah, it was a at that moment.
Yeah, but then it just kept going, and then I hit CJ up again. I had 100,000 views, and I was like, okay, I'm literally viral. And CJ was like, you need to make another post. And that's where I got the idea to respond to a comment with a video. And I'm so glad I had batched content. And I'm glad we already talked about that, because if I hadn't batched any content and then I went viral, I wouldn't have anything else to post. So keep that in mind. I know everybody wants to go viral, but you got to be prepared.
Oh, yeah, you got to be prepared. And listen, I was actually looking to find this conversation, because this conversation we had was so funny, because it was in the middle of your workday, right? So it's the middle of a workday, your normal workflow, everything going on, and you're going viral at the same time. And you're like, oh my God, I'm getting hundreds of followers, thousands of followers like this. And tell people how many followers you gained on TikTok in like 24 hours.
So I had to write it down. That day, I don't even think I had 1,000 the night before. I went to 50,000 followers that day, and I had 500,000 views that day. My email shot up. So I had my email list, put that in the link immediately. So I don't even have enough followers to have a real link on my TikTok. So I'm scrambling to try and put the link in, because I have a link now. Put that in, got 77 people to sign up. My Instagram went from 9,300 to 11K in a day. My YouTube views went up to 300. I usually get like 5 or 6 views a day. Like, no one's paying attention to stuff. Linktree clicks. So now you can see in Linktree how many people are clicking stuff. It was up to 675 clicks that way. I usually get 16.
And just so you guys see, look, this is a screenshot that Keely sent me. She said, oh my God, it's 900,000 views. And so as you see here on TikTok, we'll talk about it here in a second. She's using, as you see, she's using these captions over her covers. Like, she's using that. So talk about why you do that, Keely. Why do you put part 1 and all these different captions there over the covers?
So the thing about TikTok is you want to keep users on TikTok. TikTok likes for your videos to keep people wanting more. So I'm putting the titles on there. So A, you know what this video is about. And B, you know there's more than one part. So you can't just watch one. You got to keep watching and staying engaged on the app. You definitely want to put titles on TikTok. It's not like Instagram. They have no idea what the video or picture, anything is about until they click on it or see that title.
Mm-hmm. And then look at, so while she's going viral on TikTok, look at how many followers she gained on Instagram at the same time. Now she's at 13K, but this is what she showed me back then, 12K. Yeah. Like literally, she's the whole part of her going viral on TikTok. It branched out to everything. You gain people on YouTube, Instagram, all these different things. Now it's always one of everyone's dreams to go viral, but let's talk about having systems in place to turn that into dollars, because that was an interesting conversation as well, because you actually, hit me up being like, yo, my calendar's full. So talk about, some of the tips and things like that you have in place, some of the systems you have in place, to take advantage of this opportunity when it hit.
Of course. So I'm a coach. So I have, I use Calendly, and it's just a scheduling app. There are plenty of other scheduling apps. So I had the free version for the longest, and I decided to commit and say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pay for the next tier, because you never know, right? Same thing with my email list. I have MailChimp set up. I have a link set up to capture emails. I'm going to pay for the next tier so that I can get more access to better things in the list. And you can, luckily I did it because it costs to have more people on your list. I also use, like I said, Linktree just for analytics. What else do I use? But having that Calendly set up, it ensured that I could capture leads. Like if I didn't have my calendar set up, then I'd have to be DMing people individually. You don't want to do that, especially if they are going viral. And my email list, the people that I can't get to immediately, now I have you in my funnel. I can reach out to you. I can nurture you and talk to you later. So the biggest thing is when you get all this attention, you want to make sure you're shepherding people into some kind of funnel so that you can stay in constant contact with them.
Correct. And I just pulled up something just so you guys can see on her TikTok. Some of you guys who might not know TikTok, you can actually put a URL link in your bio. So if you see here, there's a couple of places on here that she's utilizing. For one, there's a message section, but then over here, there's a link to your Instagram. So people can link to your Instagram. And down here, you have a URL in which people can, go to whatever website. Right now, she has it set up to her MailChimp, right?
Yeah.
But that could be a link tree, that could be a flow page, that can be anything you want there. But it's a way that you want to make sure you have your TikTok account set up. Please, if you're on here, if you're on TikTok, you're about to set one up, make sure you're utilizing this, because let's say if something goes viral, you need to be able to pull people in, and that's how Keely was able to do it.
Exactly. And I do want to caveat that didn't go live. I didn't have a link until I believe it's 1,000. You need 1,000 followers to have a live link, but always have your Instagram and YouTube link. Those are always live.
And listen, you're at almost 100K followers. Yo, listen, we're talking to a TikTok superstar over here.
Oh my goodness, there you go.
So listen, okay, so you talked about this, having a Calendly set up, and you talked about putting the money into the platform you're investing, because a lot of people will sign up for these platforms and they'll say, hey, you know what, I'll just get the free version. Why did it matter for you? Why was it important for you to invest in Calendly to get the higher, tier?
So part of it is just believing that it's going to happen, right? Like if you're just getting the free one, anytime you get something for free, you don't really care about it. When you start investing in it, then you put dollars behind something, you care about it, you're invested. And I believe in this. You send a signal to the universe that, hey, I really do want to do this. Send something else my way. I'm really invested. I'm committed. And then I believe the universe answers and says, okay, let's see if you're really committed. I'm going to send this your way. So part of it is just being prepared and believing in yourself that this is what you really want to do. And I'm not saying I paid for everything at once. I paid for, I think, email first. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to invest in my Calendly. I upgraded my Linktree, because there's a free version of that. And then there's a $6 version, right? So just slowly investing in what you actually want to commit to. Start with free, just get something out there, but once you decide, okay, I really want to do this, I think I can do this, start investing and things will happen. Things will start moving.
Yeah, I started with free as well, and but for me, I'm one of those people that I'm a big proponent of. If you can spend, it's a cup of coffee, right? You
Right.
spend $6 on taking the watermark off of Linktree, or to to have the custom banner for your logo, and keep people's attention on your brand and not theirs, right? Because if
Exactly.
someone they go to your Linktree and they'll see Linktree there, like, you know what, I want one too. They click that. No, no, no. I want them clicking my stuff. I want them
Myself.
clicking stuff. Right?
Exactly. You want them focused on you and your brand, not the brands that you're paying and you're utilizing. So yeah, get rid of those watermarks, please.
Hopefully, y'all taking notes on that. Take notes on that, please, please, please. And so, also when it comes to TikTok, there is also another way you've been recently dabbling in, which is a creator fund that TikTok has. Tell us about that and how that has made you a few dollars as well, since you've got into that.
So I don't have a lot of information on it because TikTok makes everything so mysterious. But once you hit a certain number of followers, they'll send you a link or you'll be able to see it. You have to change your status to creator. I think there's business, maybe personal, and then creator. I'm not sure. But you change it to creator, and then you'll get a tab in your menu called creator, creator analytics. You can see stats, and then it'll say creator fund. They
Mm-hmm.
don't tell me how I'm making the money. It just tells me a total for the day. And it's not a lot of money, guys. It's like I make between probably 50 cents to $3 or $4 a day. It's not crazy money.
Yeah, yeah, but she just started, so she just started. But
Yeah,
it's
but
something, right?
yeah, it's better than nothing. And now, Instagram is doing the badges. And
Mm-hmm.
once you get, I think, 10,000 followers, you can turn your badges on. And now they're doing the bonus as of right now for going live. So I've been going live on Instagram as well.
So just so you guys can see, I went to the TikTok Creator Fund here, right? So this is what right here. You see, you have to have 10,000 followers on TikTok. You have to have at least 100,000 views in the last 30
Mm.
days, and you have to be at least 18 years old. So if you see, I only have one of those checks. So I only have
Oh,
one of the three. I'm not a superstar like Keely yet.
oh my
But
goodness.
once you get all three of those, 10,000 followers, 100,000 views in 30 days, and 18 years old, then you can go ahead and sign up for Creator Fund. But that's just another way you can make dollars off of TikTok.
For doing stuff you already do. That's the beauty of it. Like, I'm not doing extra stuff. This isn't like a paid advertisement. This is my content that I like making. I post it, and TikTok's like, here, keep making content.
Now imagine if now that she's in the fund, she goes viral. Now
Exactly.
we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're wondering, how are these people making six figures off of social media? This is how they're getting paid, and they're not only doing that, but they're also getting sponsorships. They're getting endorsements.
Yep.
They have a big audience. So now Keely can go to somebody and say, "Hey, you know what? I got 100,000 people on TikTok. Look, hey, I'm open for business. We can have a conversation." By the way, some of you guys listening, I'm just saying, so you might be interested.
I'm just saying, if it's related to moms and it's in my niche, I'm not going outside my niche, but yeah, for sure. It's like a new resume. It's basically a resume saying, hey, I have this many eyeballs on my content. Can we work together?
Now, for the people who let's say, for example, that feel like TikTok is just for kids, or they feel like what I have to get up and dance, or all this stuff. They're like, it's not for me. Tell them what you've seen on TikTok. How much people are really learning from TikTok, how people are being entertained, how many different niches and avenues that you see that's on TikTok. I know, but tell it for the people what you've seen.
Yeah, so I believe the same thing. I was like, this is just a fun app. I'll get on here, I'll dance to a song, I'll lip sync to a song and get off. But TikTok has slowly migrated into a more YouTube-esque type feel, and people are going there for bite-sized bits of information. You're either entertaining people, you're educating people, or you're combining the two. And the people that can figure out a way to entertain you and educate you tend to do the best, right? And niching down, making sure all of your videos revolve around the same type of topic. You have, my main thing is moms after having a baby, but then I talk about specific pain points that those moms experience to keep them coming back. And I teach them things or little techniques that they can do. So educating and entertaining people. You don't have to dance. You don't have to sing. You really don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to. There are a lot of people on TikTok, they don't show their face. They just put the text up there, have it to a viral song, and it goes viral. So you don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to do it.
Good points, good points. And honestly, for some people who say, you know what, I don't really see the value in TikTok yet, just know that everything usually starts there. All the trends you see on Instagram, all the trends you see music-wise, little challenges, all that starts on TikTok. It just does.
Exactly. It goes to Reels and waves. There are some things that are exclusive to Reels, but a lot of the content on Reels came from TikTok.
So listen, you have a few tips that you kind of want to throw at people, a few tips that, when it comes to things you have in place or just in general, being ready for that moment when they go viral.
For sure. I have 7 things I want to touch on because, like I said, everybody wants to go viral, but what happens after you go viral? So before you even go viral, the number one thing I want you to figure out is why. Why do you want to go viral? Once you have all these eyeballs and this attention on you, what are you going to do with it? What do you want to do with these people? Do you want them to buy your product? Do you want them to get in your email funnel? Do you want decide who you want to attract and why you want to attract them before even thinking about tips to go viral. Okay. The next thing is, like I said, deciding who. Who are you talking to? What's your niche? Can you niche down some more? The more specific you are, the better, because you're going to talk to one person. And if you can make people feel like you're talking to one person, they're more likely to engage. When you say y'all or everyone, they're like, who? Because they're holding their phone and they're looking back at you. It's just you and them. And video is very intimate. So that's why I like being on video and TikTok. But niching down, finding one topic to talk about, and then you can always expand later, but grab your audience first and then expand. 3, I talked about earlier, invest in your systems before you go viral. Invest in your email, your calendar. Get your product. If you're going to sell a digital product, get your freebie ready so that you can capture those emails and then sell to them later. Make viral content your own. So now that you're on TikTok and you're being consistent, take a look at what's already popular and then make it yours. So if you see someone singing about real estate or whatever, take it and make it your own. I'm talking to moms. I'm literally dancing, if you haven't seen the video, salt and pepper songs. And I'm talking about breastfeeding. I'm talking about not doing crunches. And I'm talking about leakage. And CJ remixed my video.
I did do a duet to it. I was like, where's the football?
It's hilarious, but make sure you're talking to your audience using something that's already on fire so that more eyeballs can see it. And I touched on this. The 5th thing is batching your content. Once you go viral, people are going to ask you a million questions. I have over 500 comments on my viral video, and it's people asking for help with specific things. Go ahead and batch your content so that when you do get those eyeballs, you can keep them engaged, you can keep them entertained, and your posting schedule isn't messed up and you're not scrambling. Because once you go viral, it's very easy to want to cater to your new audience. But the reason that they're there is because of what you are already creating. So stay focused on what you are already doing because that's why they're there. Don't try and cater. That was just like a bonus tip. 6, post consistently. That's going to go straight into batching. If you've already batched, it's already there. Try and post. And consistent could be 4 or 5 times a week. Consistent could be 3 to 5 times a day. You pick what you can keep up with and stick to that. The last thing, once you do go viral, engage with your audience, answer comments, respond. TikTok is awesome because that's new content. You can reply to comments with a video, and that's already another post in the moment. And the next video after my viral video, I think has over 200,000 views because I answered a comment in a viral video. So make sure you keep up with your comments, respond to DMs, respond to comments. People want to feel engaged. You got all these eyeballs. Now you need to talk to them.
No, those are amazing points. And you hit on a couple of things I want to touch on. And one was the fact that you talked about how you wanted to engage with the audience just recently. And the thing is that it may not turn into dollars right away, but these people feel engaged with Keeley's now. And now they're like, you know what? I know who to go to when I have a question, or when they're ready to work out, or when they're ready for a consultation. She's the one that they're going to think of, right? So don't think about it in this instant, like someone's just going to pay you money right away. It's about the long-term investment, the long game, and being that authority figure, which now Keely is.
Exactly. And then once you have them engaged, they're more likely to hang around when you have new products too. You don't want to just get the quick sale. You want to bring them in and engage them so that when you sell this product, they're like, oh, this was amazing. You get reviews from them, you get feedback from them, and then you can create another product or whatever you're selling and go from there. If you just get the quick sale and they go away, you don't know if they liked it, you don't know if it really worked. So definitely keep them engaged.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. When it comes to the balance of how much time you put on TikTok versus Instagram, what is that for you right now? Or do you like, when I should say, I wouldn't just say TikTok versus Instagram, but TikTok versus all the other social media platforms. How about that?
It's probably TikTok number one, then Instagram, because Instagram is just my baby. I've been on Instagram since like 2016. That's my baby. But a lot of the content I can put on both. So when I make a TikTok, before I post it, I screen record it without the watermarks. If you don't want to pay for an app, there are apps that do this. But if you tap the video and watch it and screen record it and just edit it later, you can use that as a reel. That's what I've been doing for free. But Instagram is more pictures. TikTok is more video, of course. TikTok is easier for me to make something quick because it's something about being live or just making something in your room that people like and enjoy. Instagram is a little bit more production than TikTok is. And then YouTube, I'm working on launching some things this fall. So I'm about to upgrade my YouTube. And those are the three main platforms that I'm on. But, yeah.
And so how have you dabbled in TikTok live at all? Have you done a little bit of
most definitely. I try and go live at least twice a week on TikTok. That helps with engagement. That helps with views. TikTok will push your content out more the more you go live. So again, engaging, interacting with your audience, it's like it just builds this big snowball.
And as you know, we're talking about a little bit of dollars here too. So that's another way to make money, because when you're live, people can buy TikTok coins that can now, go to Keely. So it's another opportunity. Just like we talked about Instagram having badges, people can purchase those. Now TikTok is, I think, started it even before Instagram badges. You could monetize off that. So they are all about creators and giving opportunity to make money because they want you to stick on a platform. So definitely take advantage of that too.
Exactly. They want you hanging out on there.
Yeah, I know. So, man, okay, Keely, what else we got to talk about? Because I know we talked about, how much you gained on TikTok as far as followers. How many followers did you gain on Instagram from this viral video?
So just from the video, I went from, I think, 9.3 to 11K in a day, which was insane to me.
Wow. Yeah. And so do you see some of the effects of this viral video still now today, weeks later?
Most definitely. Like I said, things were trickling in. Now I think I get at least 5 to 10 email subscribers a day. It spikes on the weekends and then it kind of lulls during the week. But I can tell when TikTok is pushing my content because I'll get more email subscribers. I'll get Instagram followers. People will buy my snapback bundle. Like things will just start happening. Oh yeah, that's all linked in the link tree. But yeah, it's been a crazy ride. But
and so with YouTube, do you happen to have those numbers too? How many people follow you on YouTube alone?
I want to say 500.
I'm just saying. So while she's looking it up, guys, listen. YouTube, another thing, like all linked together. See how it's literally funneled to all these different platforms, which you can monetize off them separately.
Yeah, I went from, I think, 100 subscribers to 488 now. So almost 500 subscribers. Yeah.
And talk about, I guess, too, not only having them linked together, the pages are all the same name.
Yes.
So
use the same name if you can. Please use the same name. I use the same picture on my TikTok as my Instagram, so you know it's still me. Like I have my logo everywhere. I want you to know that you are still in my environment when you go different places.
Talk about, when we talked about batching content earlier, let people know who haven't been on TikTok before about the draft feature. Like what does the draft feature allow you to do, and like how does that make it easier to batch?
So I keep everything, even in my reels and my TikTok, in drafts. I have it on my phone, but I keep them in drafts so that I can come back to them later. Sometimes I'll film a video and I won't have a concept, but I'll just kind of act out a scene and then I'll fill in the text later. Or sometimes I'll have an idea for text and I'll do it a specific way based on what's viral. But putting it in your drafts and then coming back to it later sometimes helps just make the content new. I've taken old stuff that I filmed way before I went viral, changed the text on it to relate to moms, and I think it's got 40,000 views. The one where I'm telling you to sit down in that purple outfit, that was old. I filmed that like last year, but I just never knew what to do with it.
So, man, the draft feature on all these platforms is so super easy. You don't have to even. It's not going to save on your phone. It's actually in the cloud. It's actually in the cloud, so you can have hundreds of them. I know, you guys know Bernadette. She from Make It Fun NYC. I think she showed me 150 drafts at some point. But I know it's crazy, right? 150. Another guy I know on FitTalk, and I say FitTalk because these are hashtags within TikTok. When you're on TikTok, you'll see these different hashtag groups. FitTalk, another community. There's a guy, I can't remember his name, but he told me he had 200 drafts. So yeah, you can have batch content consistently on TikTok, and the thing is, it's not saving up on your phone, but more importantly, like we said earlier, he doesn't have that stress of, man, I got to create 4 TikToks today. Even when he's on vacation, even when his business is down or he's sick or a family emergency or whatever it is, he can just drop those and keep it rolling.
Exactly. If you're hit by a bus, you need to be ready.
Yeah, you're going to be saying that now. I see. You're going to be saying that.
I appreciate that.
So when it comes to hashtags, do you use 1 or 2 hashtags? Or how do you feel hashtags are, for you on TikTok?
So I'm still playing around with them on TikTok. I'll usually use postpartum or postpartum body. And now I'm using cesarean because I made a video response about having a C-section. And it got like 70,000 views. And I was like, okay, so I've hit another pain point. So now I hashtag cesarean or cesarean delivery because the people looking at those hashtags are my audience.
But do you see, guys, there's a trend here. Her niche is so narrow. Like, she's not out here trying to do everything. She's sticking to her niche. And now she's going 70,000 views is normal for her. For everyone else, like us, like me, like I'm like 70,000. Like, oh my God, this is an everyday post for Keely these days.
I know, I'm so casual now. I'm like, oh, that only got like 6,000 views.
6,000. Oh my God.
I know. But TikTok will humble you. I definitely have some that are like 100 right now. So don't think because, once you go viral TikTok is not necessarily like Instagram. I think Instagram will elevate you a little bit based on your following, will reach more people. But TikTok, you start brand new. Every time you post, it's a brand new post. They're going to send it to that first round. I think it's 100 people. And if they like it, then they'll keep going. And there's different layers, right? You try and people make short videos because you need 100% watch time for TikTok to push it out further. The longer the video is, you need less watch time, but they're less likely to engage unless they already know you. You need a short video to get them in so that they can decide if they want to follow you or not. Then once they're following you, then they'll start watching the longer form videos. Just what I've observed and what I've learned so far.
Yeah, this is a good point. So most of your videos you think were in around that 10 to 15 seconds? Or 7 seconds?
Even shorter, yeah. Just put a bunch of text. I have a video, I think it's got 18,000 views, and it's a bunch of text. So if it's a bunch of text on the screen, they'll usually watch it 2 or 3 times. Even though you can pause on TikTok, most people don't pause. They'll just keep watching it over and over until they read the text.
I've heard rumors, and I don't know, this is not going to play into what we're talking about here because we're talking about keeping videos short, but I heard that TikTok is going to allow people to go up to 2 minutes soon. And I was like, Have you heard that too?
Yeah, they are. I've seen a long form video.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the audience of TikTok, we're so accustomed to short bursts, and you know how easy it is to swipe. You know how easy it is. So, the shorter, the better.
But your content, if I have watched a longer form video though, if the content is valuable. So I said,
so you got to hook them in right at the beginning, right?
Exactly. They're already interested in that topic. You've got to have a great hook to get somebody to watch something longer than 15 seconds. but you need 7-second content on your page to get people in to see who you are.
I was gonna say, talk about your hooks. Like, is this something you practice, or is it one of those things where you say, okay, what would grab my attention, and then you kind of roll with that?
So I'm learning as I go. I'm still learning about hooks, but I definitely try. If I'm talking, I say you in the first second or two. Do you struggle with this? Are you dealing with this? Like trying to hit a pain point, grab their attention, know that I'm talking to you. If I'm not talking to you, you're going to keep scrolling anyway. But saying you just to kind of, hey, maybe am I dealing with diastasis recti? Am I a breastfeeding mom? Like those kind of things to make them stop scrolling and listen.
Do you ever practice with loops? So for you guys that know what loops are on TikTok, so it's kind of like, I might roll out the camera this way, and then I come out on the other side this way, and then it's kind of like a way to get people to watch your video multiple times. Have you ever kind of like played with that?
I haven't started doing that yet, but I have observed it, and I'm learning, because they'll end with a question too, or this is a reminder to, have you ever, like, just so you keep watching it over and over again. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely got to practice that more too, because I see people like are masters of TikTok, like Will Smith and his team. Like literally, you'll watch his TikToks over and over and over, and I'm like, or Jason Derulo, and I'm like, you literally watch it, and I'm like, wait a second, I watched it 3 times and I didn't even realize it.
Exactly. I'm trying to get to that level. I'm not there yet.
Well, we're gonna keep on working on it for sure. So listen, so we talked about TikTok. We've talked about how to turn the views into dollars. We've talked about the best practices on TikTok to have, in place, the systems in place. So you guys, when you do go viral, you can make money, you can get those clients, you can get those consultations, and you can continue to, branch out to those other platforms. Now let's tell people what else you have going on, Keely. Tell them that you are an owner of a company out here.
I am the owner of Kinetics Wear, fitness apparel brand. Like I said, I started it during the pandemic. Crazy time, but it's going strong. It's been a year already, which is crazy. I can't believe it. And I am launching a new collection Saturday at midnight. So now it's called the Primal Collection. It comes in 2 colors. It comes in leopard and lynx, which is a white with black spots. All over my Instagram, go follow the Kinetics Wear Instagram. That is also linked to my Workouts by Keely. Everything is linked together, but go check it out. It's a biker short set, really cute for the summer.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to tell you, ladies, go out there and get it. Kinetics Wear is the #1 apparel brand of the Rebel Fitness Conference. You heard it here first. There we go. Boom. So listen, tell people where else. I mean, we've kind of told them about Kinetics Wear. We've told them about TikTok, Instagram. Is there any place else you are? Because I know you're everywhere. You have a podcast. What else do you got going on?
I don't have one yet. Podcast coming, book coming. But I am on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. DM me, say hi. I love talking to people. I'm a human. I like interacting with humans. I feel like everyone's got the pre-rolled scripts now. And I'm like, no, if you DM me, it's me.
So I got 2 last questions for you before we wrap up. And that is, let's start with one. Number 1, what was one piece of advice for someone who has never logged into TikTok that you would give them right now?
Ooh. Just one?
Yeah, just one. Oh, you can go more, but just some advice. Go ahead.
If you've never logged in, keep an open mind, because you're going to see all kinds of things when you log in, but you can take anything you see and make it your own.
Okay. I like that. And the second thing is, for those people who are on TikTok that are struggling, and they feel like, you know what, it's never going to happen, man. I only have 1,000 followers. Why am I even posting this? Should I even bother anymore? What would you tell them?
Don't give up, because that was literally me. I didn't even have 1,000 followers. I didn't have more than 300 views was probably my top video. And I just said, I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to show up consistently and post every day. I'm going to batch my content and keep going, whether someone's listening or not. And I think that's the key. You can't do this to go viral, because again, you'll just cater to whatever your audience wants. You want to go viral because of something you created that you already like creating, because you're going to have to keep creating more once you go viral.
I don't know what else to say. That's a perfect way to wrap it up. I'm just going to say this, like, I mean, the fact that you said that, it was you just had to keep going. man, that's so inspirational. What was that thing that you said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going because this, like you said, is it mainly just because you cared about it, you love it so much, it's already what you do, it was natural?
It was more like, okay, I'm either gonna reach them today or I'm gonna add to my repertoire. Now I have more of a catalog behind me. I'm glad, my first video wasn't viral because then you got to catch up. If I already had the YouTube videos. Those YouTube videos were from 2019 and they're like getting a bunch of views now because I went ahead and did it. I went ahead and did it because that's what I wanted to do. And that's why I say you can't do it to go viral. You have to do it because you already like doing it.
Listen, perfect. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Any last words, Keely, before we do our outros? Because I can do an outro for me, but they already know me. I'm Fit with CJ. I'm not a personal trainer, but I'm your favorite personal trainer, favorite content creator, and digital marketer. But go ahead and do your little outro.
Hardest working man in social media right now. Okay. I don't have anything else. Keep going, keep posting, figure out what works for you. Don't get sucked in. Going viral doesn't mean instant millionaire. You still need to have your systems in place, but keep going. It could happen.
1 million views could mean $1 million, or it could just mean 1 million views. It's up to you.
It's up to you.
All right. Listen, you guys enjoy the rest of the conference. Me and Keely are out. Thanks so much, Keely. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
All right. Peace. You guys go follow Keely right now.